Greetings everyone and welcome back. Today I want to show you the lenses that I've acquired recently so that you can have more or less of an idea of what it's coming in the next few months. This is gonna be a quick and dirty video just to showcase these lenses, and obviously detailed reviews will follow. Let's start from something you're already familiar with, that I've already owned and showcased, like this, the omnipresent, infamous Helios 44 M4 in this case. For as much as I try to sell them and get rid of them, they keep popping up in boxes and bundles that I buy, and this is in fairly, well, I'd say quite good conditions. The aperture works fine, the focusing ring is stiff, but it works fine again. It is precise, and this will be sold as fast as possible. Another familiar face is this Chungus Jupiter 21M. This specific one has some issues with the aperture. It needs to be fixed, but it still works and it's still an interesting lens. Very clean, again, great conditions outside, but again, it's a little bit of work. Now moving on to something a little bit more interesting and different, let's stay in the big lenses realm with this Canon FL. It's a little bit older than the Canon FDs that I've showcased so far. This is the 200mm f3.5, so a similar lens to the Jupiter 21M. Again, fairly good conditions, but sadly it has a little bit of dirt and a tiny bit of possibly mold inside. Can't really see it from here, but there is just a tiny bit. Pretty curious to try this out, try an older version of the Canon lenses, and we'll see how it performs. It is much lighter than the Jupiter. Jupiter is like 980 grams. This is a tiny bit longer probably, but almost half the weight. So yeah, can't wait to try it out and compare it to possibly Jupiter. Moving on to another Canon, this is the 70-210 FD macro. This is gonna be another possibly interesting lens. I already see something I don't like, which is the push-pull zoom, but it's stiffer than other push-pull zooms that I've used so far, so it might be more usable for me. I don't really like this type of zoom. Some of you in the comments have told me to check out the 70-200-210, so here we are. Moving to a smaller lens, but not really that shorter, we have my first Meyer Optik Görlitz, or however it is pronounced, Telemegor 180mm f5.5. A bit of an odd lens, with many blades in the aperture. Possibly interesting, but again, I haven't really tried it yet. So I'm very curious about this one, we'll see how it performs. And recently I've had the chance to, well, actually I've stumbled upon a Telemegor 400mm. It was a beast, but the price tag was also a beast. So I had to leave it there. But again, curious about this lens. It's probably a bit janky, but I like some jank. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we have finally, after many years, my first Asahi Pentax Takumar Super Multi-Coated 135mm 3.5 lenses. Probably my favorite focal length. I love 135mm 3.5 f-stop 3.5. It's more than enough. This is very compact, very lightweight, very smooth, very long focus throw. And yeah, can't wait to try it out. Really curious. Finally, I managed to find a Takumar for a decent price. It wasn't cheap, but you know, I had to buy a bullet. Bite the bullet. By the way, forgive my voice and general tiredness, but I've spent the whole weekend at a convention for work and I am done. I am absolutely done. Now, moving on. This cap is not the right one because this is not a Vivitar lens. This is actually a Minolta MC Rokkor HG. I have no idea of what that means. I still have to research the lens, but it's a 35mm 2.8. I don't really have had the chance to try many 35mm yet, so again, curious to try it out. This one has some oil on the blades. It's not in the greatest conditions, but it was somewhat cheap. It was affordable, but again, mostly I'm curious to try it out. And finally, something I was actually looking for, the Azai Pentax M 28mm f2.8. I already own the 3.5 version. I've recently reviewed it, and I was looking for a cheap 28 2.8, and again, wasn't really cheap, but it was the most affordable that I could find, and can't wait to try it out and add it to my Azai Pentax M kit and see if this or the 28mm 3.5, which one of them will earn their place in my actual kit and which one will end up being sold, sadly. And well, that is it. This is all for today. This is all that I bought recently, and soon enough, in the, next months, we'll see detailed reviews and comparisons with these lenses. So, if you have any specific requests, any specific test or comparison that you want to see with these lenses, please let me know in the comments and I will try my best to do so. And now I am going to edit this video and rest because I'm really, really tired. Bye!